Alright, let's dive into something that's both nostalgic and downright fascinating. The first number one hits of some of the biggest names in 70s classic rock. But here's the twist, we are not just talking about the songs, we are unpacking the stories, the creative struggles, and the moments that made these tracks iconic. Because, let's be honest, the backstory is often where the magic happens. So, buckle up, because this isn't just a list, it's a journey into the heart of rock history. First up, Best of My Love by the Eagles. Released in 1975, this song wasn't just their first number one hit, it was the first of 5. But what makes this really interesting is how it came to be. Glenn Frey, the mastermind behind the track, was actually trying to replicate one of Joni Mitchell's guitar tunings. Personally, I think this is where the genius lies, in the accidents, the détours. Frey got lost in the process, and out of that confusion, Best of My Love was born. It's a reminder that sometimes, the best art comes from not knowing exactly where you're going. What many people don't realize is that this song wasn't just a hit, it was a turning point for the Eagles, setting the stage for their dominance in the late 70s. If you take a step back and think about it, this track is a perfect example of how experimentation can lead to something timeless. Now, let's talk about Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. This was their first and only number one hit in the US, and it's a song that's drenched in emotion. Stevie Nicks has shared how difficult it was for her to perform this track initially, given the tension within the band at the time. One thing that immediately stands out is how raw and vulnerable the song feels. It's almost like you're eavesdropping on a private moment. In my opinion, this vulnerability is what makes Dreams so enduring. It's not just a song, it's a snapshot of a band at their most human. What this really suggests is that sometimes, the most powerful art comes from pain and conflict. And let's not forget the dreamy, almost hypnotic production. It's no wonder this track still feels fresh decades later. Finally, we've got My Love by Paul McCartney and Wings. Now, this one's a bit different because McCartney was no stranger to number one hits with the Beatles, but this was Wings' first time at the top. What makes this track stand out is the creative tension behind it. McCartney, known for his control, handed over the guitar solo to Henry McCullough, who completely reimagined it. Personally, I think this moment is huge. It shows McCartney's willingness to step back and let someone else shine. A detail I find fascinating is how McCullough's solo came right out of the blue, as McCartney put it. It's a reminder that collaboration, even when it's uncomfortable, can lead to something extraordinary. This raises a deeper question. How many other iconic moments in music history came from artists stepping out of their comfort zones? If you take a step back and think about it, these 3 songs aren't just hits, they are milestones. They represent moments of creativity, vulnerability, and collaboration that defined an era. From my perspective, what's most compelling is how each of these tracks came from a place of uncertainty or struggle. It's a reminder that greatness often emerges from chaos. So, the next time you hear Best of My Love, Dreams, or My Love, don't just listen to the music, listen to the story behind it. Because, in the end, that's what makes these songs unforgettable.